big ball, big ball. So, Kali, goddess Kali, she's a lot of people misunderstand Kali because she's the goddess of like destruction, but sometimes you have to raise things to the ground, right, to start again. So although she is destructive, she is actually quite instrumental in breakthroughs, because like when a plant comes out of the seed or seed germinates, it has to kind of destruct in order to come through. So that's hence why I've got her, because I've been having, well, I think we've all been having a bit of a strange few years. So she's there to remind me that good things can come from kind of destruction. So yeah, we're going to focus on the spine today, because as I said a moment ago, my back is uncomfortable, and Lulu's going to be all over me. And as I said, body can often reflect how we're feeling emotionally. So when I get stressed or overwhelmed, feel like I'm burdened, that can show up in my back. And although we can't really stretch out a knot, a bit like when people tenderize steak, they use that little hammer thing to tenderize it because it's muscle. We need to get rid of the knot, and I do tend to use like either my massage chair, or I get down and use a massage ball, but we can work to create length in the spine, which can start to ease any tension. Also help us become aware when we're starting to feel any little aches or pains. So we're going to have the feet underneath the hips, or in line with the hips, and toes pointing forward. And if you're really not quite sure, because some people naturally have the feet turned out or whatever, turned in, literally just have a look. I do that sometimes because I've noticed once from a photograph that when I was doing certain things, quite often one foot would be slightly ahead of the other. But because I was always doing that, it felt normal. And it was only seeing it in the photograph and actually bringing it back in line, even though it was only like that much, actually felt weird to start with. Now it feels okay. But I wouldn't have noticed had I not seen the photograph. So that's why sometimes I will even look at my feet to make sure that both pointing the same way, that they're kind of like equal distance, so we haven't got one like inside the hip or outside the hip, if you like, so that everything can be in alignment as best as possible. So just lift your toes and imagine trying to spread the toes out. Now, one of the reasons I focus a lot on the feet is because our foot structure can affect everything in our body, so leading to back pain and hip pain, all kinds of things. So it's really important to be aware of our feet and our foot structure and balance, that the feet are in alignment. I'm saying, so we haven't got one in front of the other or outside. I don't know this cat is actually bonkers. Like, she's got this thing now of like trying to be a parrot or something. I think maybe she's getting confused because the chickens are here, I don't know. But okay, just ignore her. So we want to focus on the feet and being aware of the ground beneath our feet. So even though we're sitting on a ball, we still want to focus on the whole body. So when we're standing, feet grounded. When we're sitting, grounding through sit bones. When we're on the ball, feet and sit bones. So that your shin and thigh are in alignment. So we don't want to be too wide like that, so that would be outside my hip alignment. That would be inside my hip alignment. So about there, you'll find a point where it feels reasonably comfortable. And then just bring your attention to your spine. So your tailbone starts way down the bottom. So your tailbone, imagine it's kind of 3 points. You've got 2 sit bones and tailbone making like a kind of triangle in contact with the ball. And as we stretch up, rather than thinking you're stretching up through the crown of the head, imagine like a kind of slinky. When you stretch a slinky, it creates space between the spirals. It doesn't just lift the top part, it lifts the whole thing. So imagine like a hook or something at the tailbone. So as you stretch up, you visualize your spine, your whole spine lengthening. And quite often you'll notice a difference. Sometimes it might be subtle, but it's a noticeable difference rather than just thinking of, head up. Because I find that people go head up, they tend to like tense their shoulders or whatever. Whereas if you visualize lengthening all the way from the tailbone up and out through the crown of the head, why are you wagging your tail? You've got there. Then you feel that subtle lengthening. And as you lengthen up, you'll start to naturally engage your toe muscles. In fact, you can try it a little bit, just kind of like slouch, because it doesn't particularly hurt necessarily, but over time it's not good because your spine's rounded. And notice how, as you visualize lengthening from your tailbone, see it in your mind. You might see it as a third person, or you might visualize your own spine, and just feel that difference And again, your tummy muscles start to engage to support you, whereas when you collapse again, they don't have to do anything. You can just melt down to the floor. So again, a lot of mind-body awareness, stretching up. Hopefully you haven't got a cat trying to perch on your shoulder. I don't recommend doing class with a cat perched on your shoulder. It does provide a bit of resistance, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Unless you've got one on both shoulders, I guess, and then you would be a bit more balanced. But then bring your attention to your pelvic floor muscles. So imagine your pelvic floor, it's kind of like in contact with the balls. Imagine drawing in and up. And imagine a connection. I use the word imagine a lot, and I visualize, imagine, picture a connection between your pelvic floor and your belly button. And picture drawing it kind of like about halfway. You want to imagine pelvic floor muscles in, hip bones in, belly button in, so as if you're tightening everything in, so your front ribs close, as if you're creating that kind of corset, the old-fashioned corset type effect, which will also help to, I can't hold you there much longer, I'm sorry, I can't hold you there. You're a heavy lump, will create that corset type effect. So pull the pelvic floor muscles in and up halfway. Imagine that drawstring, pulling your hip bones in towards each other, and drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Again, hopefully you'll feel almost like a wraparound effect. So you'll feel your oblique muscles engaging because you've got several layers of abdominal muscles. And that will also help protect your spine. Because if you imagine your spine, I've got Derek here, I don't know if you've met Derek yet. He's only little and he's not like 100% anatomically correct, but he is kind of a good example. So you can kind of like visualize the whole spine there. So it kind of, if you imagine that bit there isn't much protection between your ribs and your pelvis. There's not much going on there. So we want to kind of like imagine wrapping the tummy muscles around. So we are supporting this area here where there's not much happening in terms of like joints, etc. So yeah, he's kind of just like handy just to give you a rough idea. So I would like to get a full size one day. So engaging those tummy muscles and then getting a sense of your powerhouse, your rectangle shape. So sometimes it's really good to really focus completely on our technique and on our posture, because so often I do it as well. We sit like that, or we kind of like sit in, strange positions, and it's really no good for us. Not long term. So imagining your powerhouse, your rectangle shape, just check in with your shoulders. Do they feel like your shoulders are level, or does it feel like one shoulder is tight and tense and the other not? Sometimes it's kind of interesting doing this against a wall, and you can notice, in fact we'll do it one side at a time. So I'm going to do my right shoulder, which is this side, and I want you to just notice, you can do it with me, just notice any difference. We're going to just squeeze and release it 4 times. So just move Lulu's tail out of the way. So just notice where they are right now. So I'm sitting kind of as relaxed as possible. So just choose which side you're going to do the same side. So just inhale, shrug the shoulder up, squeeze as tightly as you can. So squeeze the shoulder, squeeze the side of the neck, hold it for a few seconds. And release it, just let it release. And you might notice already there's a difference between that side and the other side. So we're going to do it 3 more times. So inhale, shrug that shoulder, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale and release it again. You see it's dropping even more, and I'm not putting that on, that is actually what's happening. So do that twice more. Inhale, shrug, squeeze. And exhale, let it relax. So it looks like I'm looking lopsided now, doesn't it? One more. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze even tighter. And exhale, let it relax. Now hopefully you can see, I'm a little bit distance away, but hopefully you can see a definite difference between how low this shoulder is now compared to that side. Even though I felt like I was relaxing my shoulders, so we can do the same on the other side. So you're going to inhale, squeeze as tight as you can. And exhale, let it relax. And again, do that 3 more times, squeezing as tight as you can. Holding for a few seconds, and squeezing the side of the neck as well. And when you need to breathe out, let it go. Still keeping the tummy muscles in, still keeping the rest of the posture. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, let it go. One more, inhale. And exhale. So hopefully you notice that even when you don't think you're tensing, you can make a difference. You can like relax the shoulders. So hopefully they look a little bit more level now, because we do tend to hold tension in the body, especially if we're feeling a bit stressed or whatever. So releasing the arms, just going to circle back, up, forward, and around. Really take your time with this one. So go back as far as you can, up as far as you can, forward as far as you can, down as far as you can. Breathing in and out. Still keeping the spine nice and tall. Then change direction. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. In and out. And in and out. And just resting the hands, so the hands stay kind of like lightly on the wall, still lifting up out of the waist, so still holding that posture. We haven't slumped down, engaging those tummy muscles, so keep everything else nice and still. Head is in line with the spine, it's not sticking forward or back, it's not dropping down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just slowly turn your head as far as it will go for one side. Just pause for a couple of seconds and feel like, kind of like when you wring out a dishcloth or something, you'll start to feel a stretch down the spine as well. So you can visualize the nerves, tissues. Inhaling, coming back, keep lengthening up through the crown of the head, or lengthening up from the tailbone up and out with the crown of the head. Exhaling, slowly turn the other way. So we're going to focus on the feeling as you're moving rather than just the end destination. Inhaling back, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, turn. Inhale, center, and exhaling the other side. This time, as you turn to the side, stay here. Inhale, shrug both shoulders as tight as you can. Squeeze and hold for about 3 seconds. Then exhale, relax the shoulders down. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn the other way. Again, taking your time, no rush. Stay here. Inhale, shrug those shoulders, squeeze. Exhale, relax those shoulders down. Inhale, back to center. One more each time. So keep focusing on lengthening up out of the waist. Inhale, shrug, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, center. One more. Exhale, turn. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. And inhaling back to center. And bring your feet in together. If you have, actually, I'm kind of like making this up as I go along, but if you have a cushion or a ball or whatever handy, a cushion will do. If you don't want to get up because you've got a cat on your lap. But it's just something that you can squeeze. So it doesn't really matter what it is, just something you can actively squeeze. Because I find quite often when I suggest to people that they squeeze their legs in, they're not actually squeezing it as much as they would if they had something to squeeze. So it's, imagine this is worth £1 million and you don't want to drop it. So you're gonna hold on to it pretty tight, right? Not overly tight, not as much as possible. So squeeze as tightly as possible and then release it about halfway. So again, we're engaging those legs, still keeping the feet, all 4 corners of the feet, still stretching up, out from the tailbone, up and out the crown of the head, still breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So we're going to turn through the ribs. So we're going to bring the hands onto opposite shoulders and relax the shoulders. So we're just kind of giving the arms somewhere to rest. And we're going to turn through the ribs. Now, again, visualize Derek, if you like. Visualize his rib cage moving around the spine. So as you breathe in, lengthen up from the tailbone, up and out the crown of the head. As you breathe out, apply a little bit more pressure on your, whatever it is between your knees. I'll just say cushion because that's what I've got. But whatever you've got, hold again for 3 counts. And inhaling as you unwind, releasing the squeeze a little bit from your cushion. Then lengthening up, exhale. So as you turn, squeeze your knees a little bit more. So we're trying to isolate. The idea of having something here is to isolate, because quite often, even if people think they're not doing it, they're moving through the hips, doing what they call the pelvic shuffle. So having something to squeeze just kind of helps keep that lower body totally isolated. So as you exhale, squeeze a little bit harder. Again, you can also, with your hands here, you'll notice when you start to tense your shoulders. Got a passenger who's making me a little bit unstable. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. You may wobble a little bit, that's okay. That uses more muscles, so you're still keeping the tummy muscles in. So keep lengthening up through the crown of the head. And hopefully you're noticing that you don't need to make big moves, and you're still working your core and working the muscles alongside your spine. This time as you turn, and do 3 little pulses. You're turning through the ribs. So you probably barely even saw me do that. Inhale, center. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, center. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. And notice how your shoulders want to try and do the work, because we're used to using the arms. So notice how your shoulders might tense. But you're literally kind of like just doing the ribs, using those postural muscles, squeezing your cushion. And release the arms. Relax the arms back down beside you. Now take one arm out to the side. Rotate it so the palm is facing upwards. Continue. So you bring it by your ear or thereabouts. Inhale, lengthen up a little bit more. Stretch up. And exhale, relax the shoulder blade down. So you're lengthening that side. You're not even going anywhere. Inhale, lengthen up. Stretch here. Exhale, relax the shoulder down. So stretching out the sideways without actually going over. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, release. Lower the arm down. Turn. Bring it back down beside you. Take the other arm out. Rotate. Continue bringing it up by your ear or thereabouts. Inhale, stretch upwards. So we're not going across, we're stretching up, but you still feel the stretch, squeezing the the cushion rather. Exhale, relax the shoulder blade. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, relax. In and out. Then lower the arm down, rotate. Turn it down, bring it all the way back down. Then bring the palms together or thereabouts. So imagine a clock. So imagine this is like about 12 o'clock. Take a breath in, lengthen up through the crown of the head. As you breathe out, start to take one arm. You're going to follow it with your eye gaze. And you're going to try and keep the front arm where it is. And you're going to take it around as far as you can. So I'm about 8 o'clock. I'm not quite 6 o'clock. I'm about 8 o'clock. And I've just kind of tipped over to one side. So I need to try and press down through both sit bones. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly come back. So again, this is easy to do this incorrectly. That's why we're really taking our time. Breathe in. Relax the shoulders. Squeeze the ball. Breathe out as you slowly. So you need to keep your lower body engaged. And try and press down through both sit bones. See, what I was doing last time was going across to one side. So you need to engage through both sit bones, holding, and I get to about 4 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. Inhale. And exhale slowly. Come back. Might not be able to see me, but I'm wobbling a bit. Again, breathe in. Whoop. And out as you, whoops, I lost my cushion, lost my cat. Out as you turn. Again, focus on keeping everything else nice and still. Inhale again. Exhale. Slowly coming back. Well, last time, breathe in, breathe out. So again, some exercises we want to do nice and dynamically, some we want to go super, super slow. So you notice how in this position, ideally my lower body is staying totally still, and I'm just turning through the upper body. Inhale again, make sure the shoulders are relaxed, and exhale as you bring all the way back. Awesome. Relax those arms, release your cushion, whatever you're using. I'm going to come down on the floor, sitting with the ball in front. If you need a cushion or blanket or whatever, you've got a bony butt, whatever, pop it underneath your tushy. Pull the sit bones back a little bit so it's sitting up nice and tall. Flex the feet so the legs are about as wide as the ball. Rest your hands on the ball to begin. We're going to start with just a little spine stretch. You're just going to roll the ball out and in again. But as you're doing that, imagine your lower body, imagine your pelvis staying still. So we're kind of rounding over, stretching the spine rather than hinging from the hips. So it's not about how far forward you go, it's about creating that rounding. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, relax your head, relax the shoulders as if you're doing a roll down from standing. And just drop the head. So notice I'm not going very far. Pulling the belly button in, pulling the pelvic floor muscles in, stretching the muscles alongside the spine. Breathe in again. And breathe out. So forget the ball. Just imagine stacking the spine, one on top of the other. So don't really focus on the ball. Just imagine you're rolling down as you would like that. And back up again. The ball just happens to be here. So inhale, exhale. Head, neck, shoulders, ribs. Breathe in again. And breathe out, rebuild, ribs, shoulders, neck, and head. So I often find people who do yoga find this more challenging because we're used to moving from here, which does give it a good stretch to the hamstrings, but we're not trying to do that today. So just move the ball forward a little bit, but keep it between your feet. Lift up nice and tall. Just bring your hands onto your waist. You want to keep your pelvis still. Breathe in. As you breathe out, drop your head, your neck, your shoulders, your ribs. So you're rounding over, you're almost bringing your belly button in. So you don't go very far, but you feel a stretch in the spine. Inhale again. And exhale, rebuild, spine through the ribs, rebuild through the shoulders, rebuild your neck, and your head comes up last. So that's the move you want, rather than hinging from shoulders. You can do it without the ball if you want to. We can do 2 more. So if you find it easier without the ball, then just repeat what we just did. So remember, we're stretching the spine. We're not focusing on the hamstrings. Inhale, exhale, head heavy, relax shoulders. Still keeping waist over hips. Inhale again. And exhale, rebuild through the ribs. So visualize it through the ribs, through the shoulders. Visualize rebuilding your neck, and then the head comes up last. Last time, inhale, exhale, head, neck, shoulders, in and out. Rebuild, coming back up. If you haven't got the ball here, bring it here, press your hands down into the ball. Again, press your legs. If you're finding it a struggle to keep a straight spine with straight legs, just bend the knees a little bit. but flex the feet. Make sure the feet aren't floppy. Imagine trying to pull the feet in towards you so you can lengthen up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press down into the ball, similar to we did earlier, and open through the other side. Check you're not tensing the shoulders. Inhale again, and exhale, close. So just as we did on the ball, we're just doing it in a slightly different position. So grounding through the sit bones. Breathe in, breathe out, press the other hand down into the ball. Follow that hand with your eye gaze. Inhale, then exhale. As we come back, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. Last time, in and out. Keep pressing the other hand down into the ball. In and out. Awesome. Then roll the ball forward a little bit. We're going to come down onto our back and bring our feet onto the ball. All right, legs even. So start by bringing the ball as close to you as you can. And imagine hugging it in as if you're going to try and lift it off the floor. Hello, Miss Lulu. Bring the arms up, palms facing each other. You're just going to inhale, reach the arms up as if someone's got hold of your hands. They're stretching you up. Imagine keeping the spine still on the floor. Then exhale, just let them drop. Literally as if someone's pulling on your arm and just letting it drop. But you could try that if you want. Just pull on one arm and let it drop. Stretch your arm out and let it drop. That's the kind of sensation you want as if someone's pulling it up and you're just letting it drop down. So we're stretching the muscles either side of the spine. So either do that one at a time, or inhale, stretch up, hold for a second or two, exhale, drop. Inhale, reach, and exhale, drop. Once more, inhale, reach. And exhale, drop. Still keeping pressure on the ball, so don't just like hang out here. Still like hugging the ball in towards you a little bit. This time you're going to just reach slightly across the body. So you're going to reach over towards that right side, same kind of sensation. And then exhale, let it drop. Same on the other side. So inhale, reach across the body this time. And exhale, let it drop. Inhale, reach across. You're kind of reaching towards the other hand. And exhale, drop. Inhale, reach. Exhale, drop. Maybe see if you can reach even further. So past the other hand. You're just trying to move the shoulder, not the spine. So you're trying to get the spine, everything else glued to the floor. Let it drop. Inhale, reach across. Exhale, relax it down. One more each side. So just stretching the muscles alongside the spine. One more. And release the arms down beside you. From here, I've got Miss Una coming in as well. So still hugging the ball in. Bring your attention to your spine, particularly your ribs. And feel, so the spine alongside the back of your ribcage should be in contact with the floor. What sometimes happens when we take the arms overhead is we lift slightly, we arch slightly. So we ease the spine away from the floor. So you want to try and keep the back ribs pressed down into the floor, pulling the front ribs closed. So with that in mind, shoulders pressed into the floor, I'm just going to inhale, slowly reach the arms overhead. Pause for a second. Feel that stretch alongside the spine. Again, check that you're not arching. So notice, have I lifted away from the floor a little bit? If so, pull the front ribs closed using your tummy muscles. And imagine trying to imprint your spine into the mat. And when you get here, you're going to kind of relax the arms a little bit. So just kind of hang here, but not collapsing. So we're not tensing. We're just relaxing a little bit. Take another breath in. And out. So as if you're standing with your arms overhead, as if you're reaching towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, bring the arms back down beside you. So I want you to focus on imagining stretching the muscles alongside the spine. So if someone were to take hold of your arm and pull, that would stretch the muscles alongside your spine. So if you inhale, reach overhead, pause for a second, pressing the ribs into the floor, and exhale as you bring the arms back. Inhale, reach, pause, and exhale back. Still breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in, and out. And just one more. Then press the arms into the floor. Actively press into all 10 fingers, all 10 knuckles, heels of the hand, wrists, forearms, elbows, right up to the shoulders. Bring your attention to your spine. Keep pressing down to the legs. Inhale, tuck your tailbone under as if you're going to roll into a bridge pose. And exhale, relax it down again. Inhale, tuck the tailbone so it lifts off the floor slightly. And exhale, release. In and out. So you have to actively press down into your ball. And out. In and out. This time, inhale, tuck the tailbone under. Exhale, see if you can peel a little bit off. Inhale. Exhale, roll back down. Then bring the arms up to the ceiling. Turn the hands, palms facing each other. Press the shoulders down into the floor and open the arms out to the side. Now, feel like you're imprinting the top half of your spine into the mat. Pressing your shoulders, arms, backs of the hands into the mat. And then inhale, take the knees over to the right, still hugging the ball. You're going to pause, feel that stretch in that side of the body. Pause for 2 counts. Then exhale, start to imprint the spine, start to pull the back ribs, belly button in. So instead of using the legs, sorry, Donna, you're using your tummy muscles to bring the ball back. And inhale over to the left, pause. And exhale, pull belly button to spine to bring the legs back. Keep pressing the arms into the floor. Keep pressing your feet into the balls. If you're hugging the ball in towards you, you're trying to hug it in towards the backs of your legs. If you wish, you can turn the head the other way, or you can keep the head in neutral. Again, visualize your spine, so that your tummy muscles doing the work, not your legs, whilst we mobilize the spine. And I'm getting some quite nice satisfying clicks and clunks in my spine as I'm stretching out. So we're stretching and toning. But we just want to make sure we don't strain the back muscles as we come back. And just a couple more each side. You can, if it's okay, if you're not lifting off the floor, take the knees a little bit further so you get a bit more of a stretch, but as long as your shoulders are staying down onto the mat. And come back to center, having the feet ball just a little bit further away, but still pressing down into the ball. Interlink the hands, place your hands under your head, elbows nice and wide, nice and relaxed. Press your spine down into the floor. Inhale, engage those tummy muscles. Exhale, almost like a kind of roll down, but engaging the tummy muscles. Curl up your head, your neck, your shoulders. So you're always looking down towards your thighs, not up at the ceiling. Inhale again, and exhale as you lower. So your main aim here is to relax your head as much as possible. Inhale, exhale, curl, breathe in and out as you lower in and out. So squeezing belly button in, squeeze pelvic floor muscles, press legs down into the ball. Inhale, lower down. So again, just curling up one vertebra at a time, is similar to you would if you were doing a roll down. Now, one more like that. And calm down. Stay here. Inhale, take the knees just a little way over to the right. And exhale, bring them back. Inhale, a little way over to the left. Exhale, bring them back. Inhale, exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, legs just a little way over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, a little way over to the left, so not too far. So you want to keep everything else still. Inhale, center. Exhale, little inhale. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, down. One more. So exhale, keep your head still. Take the legs over to the right. Now come back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. Exhale, curl up. And inhale, lower down. Slide or wiggle the ball a little bit further away from you so you can straighten your legs. Breathe in as you breathe out. Hug your right knee in towards you. Let's have a little breath or two here. Stretch it out. And extend that leg out, draw the other knee in, hug it in, take a breath or two here, stretching it out. Then release. Bring the ball in towards you a little bit. Walking a little bit. You're going to take that right foot and you're going to try and place it on the left thigh, sorry. Not the right thigh. You can bring that ball in closer if you wish. So you're going to rest that left calf down into the ball, press it down to the ball. Keep the pelvis still. So maybe I like to keep my left hand on my left hip and then try and relax the right thigh. Otherwise the pelvis does that twisting thing. So find a point where you can relax your lower back as well as your hips. And keep awareness in the lower back as well. And then switch, put that leg down, place your left foot, and place your right hand on your right hip. And come back if you can, just kind of like wiggle the ball to one side as long as it's not going to break anything. So it's out the way, open the arms out to the side, let the knees drop over to one side, completely relax. You're going to come a nice deep breath, relax the shoulders, relax the face. Good. Inhale back to center, exhale at the knees, drop to the other side. We're going to bring the legs back. Either stay here, rest the knees together, rest the arms down, or find yourself a comfortable position, whatever works for you. Not going to be here for too long, but if you want to change positions, you can do. But just soften or close your eyes. Again, I just want you to get a sense of your spine. As I say, it's our central support system. You know, everything emanates from the spine. And a lot of the kind of conditions, whatever, or lack of mobility that we often put down to aging isn't necessarily aging. It's aging accompanied by not doing the things to keep your spine healthy and strong. And it's just like a car. I always use a car analogy because it's you know, it's so good, because you could have a really top of the range car, and you could, you know, if you leave it to rust, it's going to jam up. It's not going to move. Even you could put oil in it, you could put top grade petrol in it, whatever. You could polish it, but it's going to rust. It's going to, you know, stop working if it's not driven. If oil isn't flowing through the joints, etc. And if you imagine repeated patterns of poor posture and repeated repetitive movements, again, I tend to use the grass analogy. If you have a nice pristine bit of grass and you keep walking over the corner of it, you will soon make a little path and turn that into mud. And that's the same thing that happens with our knees and our hips. We wear them through because we're doing the same thing each time. Or water flowing over a stone, it will make a little dip. It may take years, but it will, you know, because we're repeating the same patterns of movement. Hence why it's so important to focus on full range of movement. And that's why I sometimes do things that might seem a little bit weird. You might think, what's that got to do with Pilates? Well, it's more about, you know, your brain, getting your brain firing differently, and just doing things out of the norm. Because even if we repeat the same exercise, Pilates exercises over and over again, that's still the same thing. So we still need to kind of, sometimes we'll do something just slightly differently, and it moves your body in just a slightly different way. And, you know, there's a very definite reason for that. It's not because I've just lost the plot or forgotten how I did it before. It's, you know, I do it deliberately. And sometimes I do throw things in that are designed to get your brain working as much as your body. Because the other thing is, you can go into autopilot if you do the same exercise over and over again. You're like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, la 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 la. And so you're still repeating patterns of movement. So yeah, so a lot of the problems that we may suffer as we get older is down to like poor lifestyle choices. You know, sugar strongly causes inflammation, worsens inflammation, things like that. So many endocrine disruptors that we have nowadays. You know, people use products, cleaning products, those horrible electric air fresheners, all those kind of things with all chemicals in, and it all adds up. You know, hairspray, body spray, all these kind of things that are disrupting our hormones, which can cause or exacerbate things like arthritis, osteoporosis, things like that. So there is a lot that we can do to make sure that we do stay healthy, agile, and mobile, you know, for the rest of your life. Even if you're not bothered about, you know, doing fancy arm balances, you just want to carry on living your life as you do. You don't have to give things up because you can no longer do it. So the more we focus on keeping our joints healthy and mobile, and the best thing for our joints is to use them is weight-bearing exercise, which is, you know, either using weights or using your own body weight and strengthening the muscles around those joints. So hence why, sometimes you may think I'm doing things a little bit crazy, but there's always a reason behind it. Although sometimes I'm just a little bit bonkers, but there you go. So just taking a couple of nice deep breaths, maybe noticing how your spine kind of lengthens slightly as you breathe in, and visualize, feel the gaps between your vertebrae. So say gravity and chairs nowadays just are no good for our posture. They really aren't. Everything nowadays seems to be geared towards crunching us up and making us kind of pretty much crippled. So we want to counteract that. So noticing how your spine feels now, how your shoulders feel. Because the other thing is, if you can, although we haven't done much strength work, as it were, today, if you do strength exercises poorly, you're going to cause more harm than good. So really focusing, and even you can be sitting in your car without engaging those tummy muscles, and that will help strengthen the core. So it doesn't always have to be mad like 1,000 sit-ups and all that kind of stuff. A lot of it is just literally in the line for the supermarket, pulling in your pelvic floor muscles and releasing, just as you would kind of like do bicep curls, literally changing the tempo, things like that with your pelvic floor, all makes a difference. So if and when you are ready, making your way back up to sitting position. And when you get there, giving yourself a round of applause and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you may be doing.